Thanks for joining me on the 6:15 news. I'm Kejang Henry at Timmy. Let's roll on with our headlines. Family members are saying that medical error caused the death of the infant, while hospital authorities have refuted a city gang in Douala known as Microbe. Members of the organized gang are known to have caused havoc at Punapizo residential quarters in Douala that led to the death. Vacant chieftaincy tool is highly contested by contenders to the throne. Top stories.
Canal International. Forms are open for consultation. There was a stand-up this morning at Nilong Hospital in Douala after an infant died 4 days after birth. Family members are accusing hospital authorities of a medical error when the child was administered some drugs, but then the hospital authorities are saying that there was just no medical malpractice. The family members have called for an investigation to establish the cause of the child's death. D. Murray reports.
A mother sits in shock after witnessing the death of her newborn baby. The baby, just 4 days old, reportedly became stiff and died moments after a nurse administered a medication prescribed by a doctor at the hospital. The baby's health was okay. The sister was an child, but before giving that medication, they hesitated a lot. They casted doubts. So I told them, if they have doubts, then they should let it go. Later on, they concluded and injected the baby, and that's how the baby died instantly. Family members have described the dosage as overdose, causing the baby's instant death.
Le problème vient de la dose des infirmiers qui ont administré le produit à l'enfant.
Tension escalated at the hospital as family members confronted the medical staff, expressing their grief and anger. The mother had undergone surgery to give birth, making the loss even more devastating. In a meeting with the family, the director of the hospital acknowledged that the medication had been obtained from the hospital pharmacy and cited potential side effects, concluding that the baby suffered
un arrêt cardiaque.
Hospital officials have announced an end to in their time of grief.
Meanwhile, members of this organized gang are known to have caused havoc at the Punapizo neighborhood in Douala that led to the death of one person. Littoral Governor Samuel Dieudonné Ivahadibois has assured the population of the littoral and Douala that the situation is under control. He faced the press this morning. Morindi once more.
8 individuals have been apprehended in connection with violent incidents that unsettled residents of Douala last weekend. The suspects, identified as drug users, have reportedly confessed to their involvement, raising concerns about security in the area.
We caught 2 bandits that was just avoiding that they are the one with another group, around 15 people, and they helped the policemen and gendarmes to give the way to bring back the other one. And from today, there are 8 of them.
Governor Samuel Dieudonné Ivahadibois addressed the media this Tuesday, assuring citizens that force will remain with the law as officials seek to restore order. He condemns the irresponsible behavior of some Cameroonians who misuse social media to spread false information, portraying the littoral region as unsafe.
There's no way to go to the social media and say that Douala is not a living place. A lady went and showed that he was wounded in his left hand, but he was not wounded at the place of Njonjo. And asking that lady, next time, please, call the policemen, call the governor, call the SDO, call the people that can help you to react.
Accompanied by his security team, Ivahadibois urged the public to cooperate more closely with the law enforcement. He announced plans for a thorough sweep of crime-prone neighborhoods and vowed to track down remaining assailants. Local authorities are committed to improving safety and security in Douala, offering residents hope for a safer environment in the days ahead.
Thanks very much, Maureen D. And many people are sometimes confused when confronted with situations of cardiac arrest, as they are not aware of the vital first aid techniques to be administered when in front of victims. And so Ambo Gladys actually had to find out from Douala residents on if they know actually what to do in case they come across someone who has a cardiac situation. A report.
A cardiac arrest or cardiorespiratory arrest demands swift intervention. Despite the urgency, many people lack knowledge of essential first aid steps.
The immediate response I can offer is to ensure the patient suffering from cardiac arrest is taken to the hospital swiftly. My first course of action will be to call an ambulance, ensuring the patient is transported to hospital safely. It's important to position the victim properly to aid their breathing.
In Douala, Cameroon, the concept of first aid is not widely understood, leaving many unprepared in crisis situations. Recognizing the signs of a heart attack and knowing how to respond can significantly impact outcomes.
I believe the initial step involves is using a small object, like a pin, to stimulate the patient before taking them to the hospital. That's the method I recall for initial intervention.
When faced with a suspected cardiac arrest, according to others, the first two actions to take include checking the victim's heartbeat and immediately beginning rhythmic chest compressions. These steps are crucial in maintaining blood circulation until emergency services can provide further assistance.
The priority is to remove the person's clothing and administer mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to help them breathe.
Health experts warn that factors such as high blood pressure, diabetes, a sedentary lifestyle, and poor dietary choices can contribute to the narrowing of blood vessels, increasing the risk of heart attacks. Awareness and education about these risk factors, along with proper first aid training, are vital in empowering communities to respond effectively during emergencies.
And amid the ongoing 8-year-old crisis in the English-speaking regions of Cameroon, there is an alarming rate of human trafficking. And this has reached an unprecedented level and so disturbing to the Center for Human Rights and Peace Advocacy in Cameroon. Today, they were discussing with members of the press on how they could evade human trafficking. Morindi.
Juliet is a school dropout for 6 years due to the conflicts affecting the two English-speaking regions of Cameroon for the past 8 years.
I was in the house, and because of that, I could not go to school because my parents never have that financial support to send me to school.
Her situation is not different from this woman who fled Moyoka in the southwest region with her 3 children and now living in Douala as a seek refuge.
I was in the southwest, based in Moyoka, so the struggle that was going on there was really difficult.
Today, both women turned to the Center for Human Rights and Peace Advocacy, CRAPA, for support.
I complained to them that I have this idea of restaurant, to manage a restaurant. So they supported me with some money. As I came in Douala, I was opportune to be introduced into the CRAPA organization. And with the CRAPA, they have helped me to acquire my education. I'm a commercial student. I registered 10 papers and I have 5.
We have also been able to support the people we have identified as victims. Some have done well, some have passed their GCE.
During a press cafe workshop, representative from the Center of Human Rights and Peace Advocacy, CRAPA, highlighted the alarming rise of human trafficking in Cameroon, calling for urgent action.
From the time the law of 2005 was amended in 2011, became enacted. The situation has continued to grow.
They stress that despite existing laws, effective implementation remains a significant obstacle.
That the law, to be meaningful, must be victim-centered.
The ongoing crisis continues to impact families and individuals, underscoring the urgent need for intervention and support in these vulnerable communities.
And at the level of the implementation of this program, we have been able to train journalists, we have trained civil society organizations, we have trained transporters.
Well, thanks very much, Maureen. And promoters of private higher institutions in the country have been tasked to render their institutions and graduates make sure they come out of these institutions career ready. Details with Hyacinth Chia.
As school reopening for higher education draws closer, it is in this regard that the promoters of higher private institutions are brought together in this platform to be edified on the concept of entrepreneurial universities.
A university which aims is to trigger, to foster the development of modern enterprise in our country. Because without modern enterprise, we cannot resolve the problem of unemployment.
And we have to deal with a university with process of development, to develop competencies for the young.
Some few training schools are already in the right path to the new train. Provide teachers with additional training to finance projects, additional training on project management, and above all, to be able to set up a business plan that allows them to design projects trained and they are autonomous. And for this to become efficient, the universities must fully integrate enterprises as active partners of the curriculum.
To attain that goal, the university must partner with social professional milieus. We need people who are doing practice to come and tutor students in university. So entrepreneurial university is the link between university and the private sector. This link, it is not does not concern only jobs, but it concerns also trainers.
Presiding over the seminar in Yaoundé this September 24th, the Minister of State, Minister of Higher Education, Jacques Famdongo, urged the numerous school authorities to embrace these new mechanisms for effective transformation of young Cameroonians.
Well, thanks very much, Hyacinth Chia. And residents in Bali, a neighborhood in Douala, are still gripped with fear after last weekend's raid by the notorious city gang known as Crop. They have called for more security in that area. Details with Ambo Gladys Diba.
In Bali Douala, the once bustling John Mobile Junction is gradually coming back to life. 4 days ago, this area was eerily quiet following a series of attacks that left residents in shock. Now, while activities have resumed, there is a noticeable air of caution.
We are very insecure here. We are afraid that the attackers can storm this place anytime. Activities have resumed timidly. There is insecurity everywhere in town. The governor was here on Saturday and he reassured us that all will be okay. We are very uncomfortable here in Bonapriso. I still don't understand how someone can be attacked and in 10 minutes there is no intervention.
Many businesses that used to stay late into the evening have shortened their hours, with owners and staff hesitant to remain on the street after dark.
Since Friday, everybody has been afraid. At 6 p.m., shop owners close their shops and return home.
The anxiety amongst the community has been met with increased police presence, law enforcement officers have stepped up patrols, making rounds more frequently in a bid to reassure both residents and business owners.
Area. There were about 10 commissioners amongst them. If security secured again in Bali.
While the authorities continued their investigations into the source of the attacks, there is a cautious sense of relief that no further incidents have occurred since. For now, Bali is inching its way back to normalcy, but it is clear that the scars of the recent attacks will take time to heal.
And we move over to Yaoundé, where the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has celebrated its 94th National Day in Yaoundé. It was an opportunity for Cameroon and Saudi Arabia to review their long-standing relations, as we are gathering from you, Beatrice Ngamo.
To Saudi Arabia, Cameroonian authorities around the Chargé d'Affaires to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia cutting the national cake to celebrate the 94th anniversary in Cameroon. The extraordinary journey of transformation in the last 6 years, her 2030 vision, and the kingdom's commitment to becoming a global hub for innovation, tourism, and investment highlighted.
An ambitious roadmap aimed at reshaping the kingdom's future across economic, social, and cultural sectors.
Renewable energy and environmental leadership, it was said, saw the birth of the Saudi Green Initiative to protect the environment, combat climate change with planting of 10 billion trees. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has increased the participation of women and youths in the workforce and public life.
Women today are serving as government, leading businesses, and contributing significantly to our nation's growth.
The long-standing and fruitful relationship between Cameroon and the kingdom, based on mutual respect and shared interest, also came to the limelight. In economic and development cooperation, key sectors are infrastructures, agriculture and energy, alongside roads and healthcare facilities.
These projects have not only improved the quality of life for Cameroonians, but also have creating opportunities for stronger economic ties between our two.
Cameroonian students have received scholarship to pursue higher education in Saudi Arabia. In international forum, Saudi Arabia and Cameroon support each other as they share common goals, that of peace, security, and stability. As friends, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia expressed commitment in supporting Cameroon in its effort to address social economy, improving the well-being of its people.
Beatrice Ngamo shutting the news or the curtains for this edition of the 6:15 News with me, Kejang Henry Atembe, in which you got information that there was a stand-up this morning at the Nilong Hospital after the death of an infant 4 days after birth. In fact, hospital authorities are accused for medical malpractice. And of course, that 8 persons have been arrested so far by security operatives of a notorious gang that terrorized the city last weekend. I've been Kejang Henry Atembe, thanking you for being there with us. Coming up is Le Debrief with Lee Piju.